Hi everyone, Sean here from RESO, and thank you for joining us today. We have Michelle Habib here. Hi Michelle.
Hi, how are you, Sean?
Very good. And Michelle's a salesperson for Move Real Estate in New Zealand, and has recently become one of our most recent RESO heroes. And how are you, Michelle?
Really well. Yep, things are ticking along really so nicely in New Zealand here, so it's good.
Good. Now you've gone through quite a bit of change and a journey for yourself of late. So can you just walk me through what the last couple of months has been like for you?
Yeah, probably about 10 weeks ago, we decided, Darrell, Paterson and myself decided that we would like to go out on our own, away from a typical franchise situation that we were in, and started the journey with only as our compliance, our engine behind us. And then found along the way that there were lots of interesting things we didn't even know existed, such as RESO. And it's been a really exciting journey. The branding, the designing, the creating, the freedom we've had has just been exciting and terrifying, but exciting.
I'm so glad you say exciting. Anyone that goes through a change of brand and has to recarve their brand messaging, for some that could be such a daunting experience. So knowing you and Darrell and your positive energies, I can understand why you're saying exciting, but there must have been some moments there where you're just like, oh my God.
There were quite a few, yeah.
That's great. And I'm glad you went through the journey, because look at what you've done now. The brand looks wonderful. The office looks great. Business is really on the up. So Sam from Only introduced us, RESO, and we were, so for those who are watching us, we're offering an acceptance management platform online, centralizing everything for the real estate agents, trying to make it easier. What was your process like before using RESO?
We were quite lucky at our previous agency. We did actually use a very basic form of what you are doing online. It was a piece of paper that was emailed out, and people filled it in with the information they would now put into RESO, their conditions, price, who their lawyer is, when their settlement date would be, and what kind of deposit they'd have. So they would email that back to us. Of course, occasionally we'd have things missing in emails, or we wouldn't see them, or they'd get lost somehow. So there was always quite terrifying moments that we had to make sure everything was correct, and confirming with buyers the information that they were putting in there that wasn't necessarily all filled in properly. And it was good, but it was basic. So that was what we used to do. So we would do that for more or less every property.
And a lot of back and forth, I imagine, as well.
A lot of back and forth, trying to read numbers, trying to decipher information. It was simple, but definitely better ways it could be done. So we've now found that. Excellent.
And how have you found RESO so far? You're probably, 4 weeks into it now?
Yeah, I'm with RESO 4 weeks, yes, just gone 4 weeks that we've been using RESO, and have used it on all of our listings from 1st of November. It has been amazing, easy for us to learn. One of the best things about it was how easy it was to learn, and how easy it is to teach buyers how to use them. I've been able to just give them instructions and for them to follow the process through. It has been beyond my wildest dreams of how it would process through very quickly to a really exciting event for me, watching emails coming in telling me that another buyer has sent in an offer, acknowledged my documents, and that's been really a lot of fun. I never thought I'd say it, but it has. It's been an exciting time to be watching the offers coming in, and both my PA and myself just watching, going, really, another one? This is really awesome. So loving the way it's used, loving how it's used, and the information that we get that's all, of course, correct and easy to read, easy to decipher.
And thank you so much for being courageous to take that change. For many agents, change isn't easy. It's actually, for humans, it isn't easy. It's one of the top 5 hardest things for people to do, I believe. Breaking a part of old habits or processes is difficult. So thank you for taking the trust and joining us. Now, you and Darrell have been doing a great job in loading all of your listings on there. As you said, there was one property that stuck out for me that was just incredible. It's like I was sitting on the sidelines and I was looking at the platform, and I'm just going, my God, what's going on with Elizabeth Place?
Yeah. Elizabeth Place was really special. As far as the house, it was a beautiful home, a 3-bedroom in a nice suburb, not a $1 million property, but just beautifully presented and had a really special feel to it. So you felt, in the home, you felt warm and like a kid in a playhouse. It kind of had an outlook into the beautiful trees around it, and it was 2-story. So at the living area, you were sitting there looking out into this beautiful tops of the trees and felt like you were on holiday in a tree house. So that we decided, we'll get on the market and we'll do it through RESO. So from day one, I think the day after it launched, we started getting offers coming in through RESO on it.
Yeah, and I saw that you had 78 people inspect the property. Looking at the photos, I can totally see why. The indoor features of this property, the wooden elements of it, and looking onto those trees, it does very much look like a tree house, and the styling was incredible. Can you walk me through how you engaged with the vendors around the styling? Tell us about the family.
Yeah, they are a beautiful young couple, first home that they sold together, and they have 2 young boys. So they called me around some months before to have a chat to them and wanted to know my advice on what to do. Their home was already lovely, but it's a lived-in home with family and children. So we just talked through the process of just removing some of the things that didn't have to be there. They were absolutely amazing. They followed my advice to the letter. They just removed everything, repositioned a couple of things. It just made such a difference to the look of the home, and just photography-wise, being able to tell them which things to move around. So they did all of the things that we suggested. They had already had their furnishings were already beautiful, but just replacing a couple of them and the tidying, the cleaning, it was immaculate. It looked like a hotel. It was just next level presented, was just beautiful. So they did all of that over the few months before I came back to see them. And then when they called to say, hey, we're moving out of town, let's go, I was just absolutely amazed. Just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So by the time it went to the market, it got photographed. There were a lot of early mornings for the vendor, particularly the lady was getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get the house ready, to make sure it was absolutely beautifully presented every single time. And the little bits of work that she put in each day really paid off, because it always smelt absolutely incredible. It always looked exactly the same, and you knew you could walk in and just be blown away every time.
Was it a proud moment for you?
Oh, so proud of them that they just, you know, what they did, and it paid off just so well for them. The hours that they did put in was so well spent. And
they had 2 young children, right? As well. So getting up at 5 a.m. For some families, it's kind of like you're doing that anyway, let alone having to juggle the children, the family, and trying to get the house to look as immaculate as what this one did. Now you had 78 people inspected. It was 12 days on the market, and you had 29 offers. 29 offers. Think about your old system. How would that have been managing those 29 offers?
Look, it would have been chaos. Before, in a normal real estate agency, you'd be drawing up all 29 of those offers. So you'd be doing a sale and purchase agreement for everyone. That's days of work, meeting with people, getting compliance documents signed off and back to you, and going backwards and forwards to make sure they were all right. So in your standard agency, it would have just been probably a week's worth for yourself if you were lucky enough to have a PA doing some of that work for you. And lots of running around, lots of backwards and forwards, lots of meeting with clients to get those offers signed, knowing that out of the 29, the only one's going to buy it. So you know that 28 of those people, not that you're wasting their time, but that they're not going to end up buying it. So it's going to be heartbreak for them. So that's how it would have been. With RESO, it meant that we were able to talk to them about the process if they wanted to chat at a viewing or after a viewing, and explain to them how it worked, and say to them, hey, if you have any questions along the way, if you get stuck at any point, just give me a call and I can walk you through it. So out of all of those people, I think we had 5 in the end who called just to say, hey, just a bit stuck on this, or I just want to double check that I'm doing this right. So that's pretty amazing that they were just little questions. that we were easily able to talk through on the phone. Even the older people, the people that eventually did purchase the home, they weren't a young couple, and they did the online process, and they were just incredible, being able to just do it all, put in all the information they needed, including little notes to me if there was something that they felt I needed to know about. So just exciting, not exhausting. It was exciting. It took away all the exhaustion, all the running around. I didn't have to leave my house once to get any of those 29 offers to come into me. And so that was just amazing.
I'm going to take that soundbite. I love that. Exciting, not exhausting. Love it. And you got a great price on that as well. So over the government valuation, how much did you get over that?
So we were 91% above the government valuation, which is awesome money, well above the vendors. I sat them down when I presented the offers to them. I sat down with the RESO report that listed all the information about the offers, the price, the conditions, and went through them with the vendor and said, so, what was your dream price? And they told me and said, I feel a bit embarrassed even saying, because it's really high and we think, we're just pushing too high there. And I said to them, I'm just going to make your day, and told them what their eventual sale price was. And it was, well over what they were dreaming they may possibly get. So for them, it's just been so good. They've been able to move on to their new home, being able to purchase a home now in the new place they're going to, and just having that extra little bit there available to them, which makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it could, for most people that would furnish their place with the extra that they were able to get. I couldn't believe how much margin there was in the top offers as well, how little the margin was, but also how large of difference from the bottom offers to the top offers as well. I think of the 29 offers, there was only 3 people that registered for RESO that didn't submit an offer as well. And for whatever reasons of their own. So we had the majority of people who registered using it, putting in offers, and then submitting multiple offers as well. Yeah, we did. And out of the 3 that didn't use RESO, one just didn't quite get to the last point of putting the offer in. So they just sent that to me separately. So they actually did most of it through RESO. So they just hadn't quite done the last little bit. And that was fine, because it meant we could follow up with those people. We could go back to them and say, hey, I see you've jumped onto RESO and had a bit of a look around. Is there something I can do to help you go forward with the next step of making your offer? So it just meant we knew they were interested in the property, and no one was missed off. So those people had that opportunity to talk to me about it. Otherwise, I would never have known if they'd filled in a piece of paper and not emailed it back to me. So it was a really good way to just gauge the interest of people in the property, even if they hadn't submitted an offer through RESO. And one of the great many things that you and Darrell both do as well is the follow-up and the consultation with the buyers and the vendors. You're very big on communication and that transparency. For some agents, when they're looking at offer acceptance management platforms and automation, they get a little bit scared thinking that they're going to lose their craft or their skill set or their negotiation, the marketing tactics and techniques. Did at any time you feel that RESO was working against you or prohibiting you from using your skill set?
No, not at all. I guess you could just say to people, hey, this is the system, jump on and go for it. But we've developed, conversations to have with people around and making sure they know how available we are if they need more information or advice. So we feel we're actually empowering them to be able to work around their lives, not have to have it into us during working hours that we can reply to them. They get an acknowledgement any time of the night or day when they submit their offer. We would follow up then with an email or a phone call to them, just letting them know, fantastic, received your offer, this is our deadline, I will be in touch with you as soon as we've had that deadline. So no, I felt like it was giving me more options to better serve them, because I wasn't running around after all of the people trying to make sure that I had all their paperwork in. It was all coming into me in one place. I knew it was really easy to manage from there. And so it was easy for us to communicate with people without feeling like we were chasing our tails, I guess, because it was so process driven. And it was just so easy to manage. If I had had 29 offers at a previous agency, I would have been rocking in a corner by the end of that week. I really would have. So this way, I can't speak highly enough about how finely tuned that whole process was for that particular one, and especially, but for everyone, just easy to follow, easy to do, and easy to work with.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Michelle, for your time today. Do you have any tips or advice for people that are still a little bit hesitant to change and break with old patterns and ways of doing things?
Look, I would say absolutely. Just jump in and have a trial of it. We send out to some of our lawyers the link to a test property to say, hey, this is how we're doing things. Have a jump on and have a test of it. Once you see how easy it is to do, and honestly, once you sign up to RESO, the actual setting up your system to work with it is, not even an hour long. It's probably half an hour right from start to finish. So it's really super simple to set it all up with the help of the RESO guys. And for me, it's a no-brainer. It was really good. So can't speak highly enough about it.
Oh, thanks so much, Michelle. We've loved having you and Darrell on board. And so if you're a real estate agent in Australia or New Zealand that's looking for a change to automate it, save a week's worth of work, not lose any control of your negotiations, the communications, but just want the admin kind of taken care of, we have that solution for you. Michelle, thank you so much for being a RESO hero, and I look forward to catching up with you and Darrell soon.
My pleasure. Thanks, Sean.
All right, all the best. Bye.
Bye.